My mother told the labor and delivery director that Huey was abusing me at the house because she wasn't allowed in my room after our child was born. I was having an emergency C-section, and I called everybody closest to me, including my mom, because at this point, me and Huey weren't married. And so if anything had happened to me, unfortunately, she would have been the person to make calls regarding my care. My OB was letting me go to 42 weeks. I was 41 weeks and 3 days. I had an appointment on Friday, and then throughout the weekend I did any and everything to try and make our baby girl come, and I had another appointment that Monday. So I took my husband to work at PF Chang's, and I went, slid down to the hospital. 10 minutes later, I'm there. I go into the appointment. They're checking for the heartbeat, they're checking for fluid and everything. And the nurse was just silent. Like, she couldn't find anything, couldn't find the heartbeat. My OB comes in and he calmly tells me that he's going to have to do an emergency C-section. The heartbeat's not there. No fluid was there. And it's insane because I didn't have any leaking. Like, I didn't have anything abnormal happen over the weekend. So I don't know how I lost that much fluid. I called Huey first. Obviously, I'm hysterical because I've never had a major surgery, and I was planning on giving birth naturally. And I had already read up on C-sections just in case, but I was gung-ho about a natural birth. And thankfully, a coworker brought Huey to the hospital in time, and our baby girl was born. And thankfully, she was perfectly healthy. And the umbilical cord was actually wrapped around her neck. And once that came off, she was crying, and I was just so thankful that our girl made it. So family came by to visit. My closest friend came by. Her mom came to visit. Mind you, actually, these people, my friend and her mom, they were part of the family that I stayed with in North Birmingham. And honestly, all of my mother figures came, and I was so grateful and thankful. And then my mother showed up. This is my fault because I did call that lady and I didn't give her any type of update other than the baby was here. And I didn't know around this time that you could make your room like unknown, like private, so that nobody can just come up there and find you. But she came up there, and Maji is what the nickname my kids call my mother figure, literally kicked her out the room. Was like, no, absolutely not. And I was very grateful and thankful up until the labor and delivery director came into my room. The director literally kicked everybody out of my room, and we told family and friends to go home. Hubert stayed outside, but for 10 minutes, she asked me questions about my life at home and basically told me that a claim was made about Huey and that he was abusive at the home. And I basically had to break down and tell her everything that had happened and the fact that it was retaliatory. My mother literally wasted her time and did all of this because she got kicked out of my room. It was all retaliatory. And thankfully, the woman believed me, and I was moved to a new room. I was listed like unknown or just unlisted. I can't remember the terminology for it. And that was the moment where I was like, I'm done, even though I wasn't done. Had I not been believed, like, DHR probably would have gotten involved and our daughter would have been taken from us because of a lie. After some time passed, I did decide to let my mother see our daughter. I believed that things would get better. Still was naive and had that hope. And we even started going to church together and going to lunch together. And I saw my great grandfather all the time during this time. He got to experience his great granddaughter. And it was just so unbelievable. Overall, things seemed to be going good. And then I got pregnant with our son, and her remarks got a little more annoying. She was like, well, chose to stop at one kid. Well, I don't know nothing about raising a son. And she was asking me to come home more, and I ignored that. And eventually I was asking Huey to join us at church because I really wanted that gap to be bridged. I wanted to build that bridge, and I just wanted everybody to just be good. That was a mistake because she definitely tried to strangle my husband on October 30th in 2016. Now, the church we attended was Church of the Highlands. Now, keep in mind, I went to this church starting at like 14 or 15 because it was really close to my mom's house. It was the main campus, and I had always gone there. I had been going there for at this point a decade almost. And so that was a church we were attending, and I wanted my husband to come and experience the church and just bridge the gap. And it was 80 to 90 degrees that day outside, but the church is always cool. My mother had told me to bring a onesie, and I did bring the onesie, but I did not put it on my daughter because it was too hot outside. After the service, we are walking out. We go to the nursery, pick up our daughter, and we had parked in the very, very back of the parking lot. So we had to walk all the way to that back row. The whole time we're walking, my mother is being very rude. Like, she was telling me how to parent. She was telling me how my daughter needed on a undershirt. She was saying how it was freezing in there. Mind you, we're walking in 90-degree weather to the car. And she does this the entire walk to the car. And finally, Huey's fed up. Now, keep in mind, this woman has lied on him, lied on his family, made negative remarks about him being adopted, negative remarks about me. He's seen the bruises on my body. He's kept his mouth shut for 6 years. He says, "Why are you such a B word?" And it went downhill from there. She was like, "What?" He was like, "Why are you such a B word?" And he literally tells her that he has watched her be so mean to me, so disrespectful, so rude, and that she's the grandparent, and that we're the parents, and that it's too hot for an undershirt, and to let it go. And at that point, she looks at him and she says, "I'm gonna kill you." And then she puts her hands around his throat.